Around a year ago, I received my A-level further maths mock back in year 13, and I got 94% in the exam. If you don't know what A-levels are, they're an exam you do when you're about 18 years old in the UK, and further maths is the absolute hardest subject you can take, and I got 94%, which is the top end of the best grade you can get, which is an A star, in the mock. Fast forward about 3 to 4 months, I received my actual A-level grade in further maths, and I get an A. So I fell off from 94%, which is the top end of an A star, to an A in the exam. And the only reason this happens is because of my ego. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what caused me to fall off in my A levels and how my ego cost me my A levels, so you know exactly what to look out for when you do any type of exams, whether this be your A levels or GCSEs or whatever university exams you have, so you don't make the same mistake that I did. Before I get into this, if you don't know my story already, I was very, very fat and quite stupid around 2 years ago. It's a long story, but I didn't know how to read in my English exams, and I went through an insane transformation, and I transformed my fitness, so I look like this right now. I'm pretty jacked, and I go to one of the best universities in the world. I go to UCL in London, and I got pretty good A-level results whilst also building this YouTube channel and also running another business, and I got very, very good GCSE exam results. So if you want to go through a similar transformation in productivity and fitness, click on the subscribe button down below, and I help people go through that transformation. But the main reason I fell off from getting an A star in the mock exam and then 3 or 4 months later getting an A in the real thing is just because of my ego and also the illusion of talent. So this video is particularly for people who are growing in their academic results. They're actually progressing in them. You're following my advice of how you revise and what exact revision systems you do, and you're at the top right now, or you're gonna go to the top. But I fell off because of my ego, and this video will basically tell you how you avoid that so you can actually get the grade you need. So long story short, in year 13, I came across this whole productivity space, and I realized that if I wanted to do good in my A-level exams, I needed to do the highest ROI activity or the highest ROI task, which was doing past paper questions and past papers consistently. And I did this in the morning. So I did this for about 2 or 3 hours in the morning, on and off. I didn't really understand the power of waking up early and working, but I did this on and off pretty consistently. And that caused me to exponentially grow in my exam results. Now, at the time, I didn't think it was because of my habits that I was growing so fast in my grades. So as soon as I started implementing waking up really, really early and doing the highest ROI task and eating the frog, basically, which is just doing practice questions in all of my subjects and doing that consistently, my grades just kept on going up to the point at which I nearly got 100% in all of my A-level exams in my mocks. I nearly got 100% in every single A-level mock without cheating, of course. But it's insane. If you do A-levels right now, you know how insane that is. That is unheard of that you get nearly 100% in the hardest A-level subjects because of the habit of waking up early and doing a few hours of deep work. And then I fell off because I thought the result was because I was good at A-levels. I thought I was productive, and it wasn't due to the habits. So as soon as I received those results, as soon as I received the 94% in my A-level further maths exam, as soon as I got all the A stars in my mock exams, I stopped doing the habit that got me there, which was waking up early and doing deep work. I kind of laid off the revision, so I just kind of forgot about it. Honestly, I was doing half an hour to an hour of work, if that, every other day, because I thought I was already there. I thought I was already at the A star level, so I didn't really need to revise anymore. But what I didn't realize was gradually I was decreasing because of the compound effect. Because I've made an entire video on this. The smallest action or inaction you do does build up. So every single day I was slightly decreasing in my grades, slightly over time. It wasn't noticeable in the moment, but I was just getting slightly worse every single day because I wasn't implementing the habit that had got me there in the first place. This is the ego that cost me. My ego, the ego mistake that I made was I thought I was the student getting the good grades. I thought I was the best student at the subjects I was doing. And that is wrong. And if you ever reach a point in your academic transformation or your academics where you're getting the good grades, know that it isn't because of you. You're not the reason you're really smart. It's because of the things you do. Even the naturally smart people have a consistent, predictable work hour. As soon as you stop doing that, I promise you, you're gonna go through the same kind of effect that I felt, where you're just gonna decline, and then eventually, when it catches up to you that you haven't been like working as hard for the last couple of months, it will be too late. Okay, so I haven't got like I still got like top grades in my A levels and everything, and I still got into one of the best universities in the world, but I could have gotten nearly 100% in every single A level if I just stayed consistent with the one habit that got me there, which was waking up early and working. So if I'm in your position right now, the best habit you could ever build, like productivity wise, is if you wake up early in the morning and do deep work. Do it if you work on the right thing, and if you do that in the morning, because it's proven that if you work in the morning, your prefrontal cortex is the most active, your like the quality of work you do is the best. And if you do like the hardest task, which is doing practice papers, if you don't do like random stuff like highlighting or I don't know, binge watching physics online or binge watching maths content online, and if you actually like do the highest ROI task, you will get very like that will compound over time, and you'll get incredible results in whatever goal you have. But you just have to stay consistent on that path. That also brings me on to the cohort that me and my team are putting together. So I realized that there wasn't a productivity community online that was as serious or understood the power of waking up early and doing deep work. So me and my team launched a premium community, a tight-knit community of people, wherein we guarantee that you will wake up early and do deep work every day consistently. And like that is a guarantee. It's basically pay to win. You have a community of people also focused on whatever goal they have, whether this be academic or like other intellectual work. And like you wake up in the morning, we teach you how to wake up, install the systems, do deep work consistently in the morning, every single day. Consistently. I don't think there's a single productivity school or community online that guarantees you this or is as extreme, but I understand the power of waking up every single day consistently. And just to separate from my product for a minute, like this is the greatest habit you could ever install in your like routine. Think about this again. The reason I nearly got 100% in every single A level in my mocks, right? And the second I stopped doing that, the second I stopped respecting that habit, the second I stopped waking up in the morning and I just like kind of like left it off because I thought I was the student, right? I thought I was like the A-star student. I was making productivity videos online and like A-level content videos online, and I thought I was getting the A-stars and everything. That was when I was declining because I didn't implement that consistently. And it's only consistently after I got my A-level results that I've started respecting that habit again, and I've started waking up every single day at 5 a.m. and I installed the systems and everything, and I understood how to do it. But that's when I'm starting to install this again. If I could go back to my A-level time, if I could go back to my year 13 years, and I could, or like GCSEs or whatever phase of life I was previously in, and just have one habit that I would stick to, it would be waking up consistently and doing deep work. Even if you don't want to buy my product, if you don't want to buy the community, if you try and do this yourself, it will be harder, but like without like the accountability and everything. But you have to understand the power of this one habit. If you wake up early every single day and do deep work, you will gain exponential results in whatever like goal you have, whether this be A levels, GCSEs, whatever habit you have, whatever goal you have. If you install this one habit, that is like the way you win. And yeah, I regret not respecting that, honestly. The second way my ego cost me my A levels is because my satisfaction was based on my results rather than my inputs. So there was a book I remember reading a couple of months ago called Will It Make the Boat Go Faster? And it's basically about this Olympic team that was quite average rowers that managed to go from like an average rowing team to getting gold in the Olympics. And it outlines this theory called the self-determination theory. So this theory basically states that your motivation towards anything is based on three things. It's your competence in that field, it's your autonomy, and it's your relatedness in that field. And your competence, like how good you are at the goal, is either ego-driven or input-driven. Basically, to put this into simple words, as soon as I got the A-star in my mock, as soon as I was starting to get good in my A-levels, I now based my satisfaction on the result I was getting rather than the input. So for example, to put this into a very specific example, there was one day where I did a math exam. I hadn't revised for the last week, by the way. I did no revision for the past week. It was 2 months out from my A-level exams. And I did a maths past paper and I just got the A-star. But because I got the A-star, I was like, okay, no, I'm fine. You know, I'm like, okay, I may have kind of like fallen off since my mocks, but like I still got the A-star. So I don't really need to do any more revision. So I didn't revise for the next week. And then like the next week I did another past paper and I just about got the A star again. And I was like, okay, I don't need to revise. But over time I was declining in maths. I got an A star in maths A level, but besides the point, I got an A in further maths. But I was like declining in those subjects because it was based on the result I was getting. It wasn't based on the input. In contrast, if I had the input driven aspect or the input driven satisfaction level, rather than focusing on the result, which is still really important, if I had focused on whether I was waking up and doing deep work every single day, so if I had a habit tracker back there, and I was ticking off whether I woke up in the morning and did deep work every single day, and my satisfaction was based on whether or not I did, if I woken up and did the work or not on the day, if that was my satisfaction barrier, I would have gotten so much better in my exam grades. So my tip for you is, regardless of where you are in like your grades right now, regardless of like what grades you're getting, like how you're doing as a student, it doesn't matter what the result is. The way you're going to progress if you're driven by inputs rather than the results. So if you do a past paper right now and you get a D, that's still okay, as long as you now acknowledge that waking up early and having a predictable set of work hours is the best habit to build. And if you do that consistently, like over time, you'll get the A star. Like that's just how it works. If you work on the right thing, if you like incrementally just incrementally just improve in your subject of choice, in whatever subject you have. If you do that consistently and your results are and your satisfaction is input based rather than like worrying about what you like that you're on a D right now and you like randomly do something else. If you just have a clear focus that you're just going to do past papers and you're going to do that for a couple of hours in the morning, if you have that input-based satisfaction goal, you will progress eventually to the top grade. Again, like this brings me back to that one habit. I know I keep on glazing and like keep on hyping up this one habit, but I promise you that this one habit of waking up early consistently, like 5 a.m. in the morning before you go to school, before you go to work, and doing deep work towards your goal is the best revision hack you could ever ask for. Like the Pomodoro technique is good, but like this is a different level. So again, your satisfaction should be input based. And then again, like that's what I would have told myself if I had gone back in the past. So just keep your ego in check. When you implement this habit and you do eventually get the results you want, which is like once you get the A stars and everything, don't hype yourself up too much because you may get complacent and you may end up disrespecting the habit that got you there in the first place. And also, when you make a revision plan, whenever you make like a productivity plan, have your satisfaction based on the inputs you give into it, whether or not you did the work today, rather than the result you get in the moment. If you watch my videos and you take action, you're eventually going to get the top grades, right? As soon as you start like waking up in the morning and you start doing work towards your goal and it's like deep work, you're going to start getting like the top, like that's just how it works. You're going to start getting the top grades in whatever subject you have. But it's the skill of respecting that and having your like keeping consistent on that and not getting too big for your boots and then just like bunning that off, which is what I did, which is the mistake I did. So again, just please just stick. Don't let your ego get too high. Learn from my mistake. I know a lot of people are still going to be like, oh no, but you still got good results. Yeah, sure, but like I could have gotten 100% in every single A level. Like imagine that. I could have gotten like so much better than I did now, and I do regret not respecting the habit that got me there. And hopefully you're going to take this way more seriously than I did in previously. Again, the link is in the bio for the community I mentioned. But if you want to see more videos on productivity and fitness from a first year UCL student who's also running a business on the side and is also going to the gym consistently, click on the subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.